It's just the next team, Dave. It's just the next team that we have to prepare for.
But I mean, in terms of what they do they do things that other teams don't do? Pressure, etc.
I mean, that's Spags, man. That's one hell of a coach right there, one hell of a system. I believe that's what you were alluding to. Man, my big words today. Of course, you got to prepare yourself by going over the film and seeing what makes it so hard to figure out. And I think we have the right people in this building to figure that mess out.
How long did it take you to get over the last game?
The last Super Bowl or the last game that we just played?
Last Super Bowl.
I've always been, be where your feet are, next game mentality, keep playing it. But I'd be lying. It took me, probably good. I want to say maybe until we started playing in September. Really, like in 23.
What's your best and worst memories of that game?
Well, the worst you can already imagine. The best memories, probably, just I guess being being in the position, to try and win it, and being there was probably the best part about it. It's kind of a bittersweet kind of question.
What was it like having BG back on the field, and what can that do for you guys?
I'll tell you what, you heard him before you saw him. That's for damn sure. It was amazing having him out there again. Just that energy, it's infectious, man. And, the right timing, man. It's the right timing, God's timing.
When you saw, when AJ was in here, he was talking about like how so many guys have kind of sacrificed their stats, their numbers, whatever, to get to this point. What does that kind of say about the team you guys have? You have guys like AJ and Devontae and Dallas and all those guys willing to sacrifice to make sure you guys get to where you want to go.
I mean, those three guys are selfless, first and foremost. To sacrifice that is a testimony to the character that they have, the kind of person that they are. But it doesn't surprise me because we're here with them every day and they live what they preach, and I think it's pretty special team this year, and I'll get ahead of it if any of you ask this question. But yeah, I think this team is more closer, more special than the last team that went to the Super Bowl.
Why? You were.
Yeah, why do you say that?
Our relationships on a personal level are much more closer, and it carries over to the field, the professional side.
You were mic'd up on the big touchdown run. Everybody got to see your kind of reaction when you saw Saquon break away. What's it like for you in that moment?
A rush of emotions. I don't really, I think I just like to have fun. Especially when you do something with intent and it actually pays off. It's in the moment for me. It's quite funny. I just start laughing and I kind of lose thought for a second.
You just about killed the guy first.
I was worried about AJ more than the other guy. Sorry.
How is you talk about your closeness in this team? What is that born out of? How does that happen?
Spending time with each other outside of the facility and going to dinners, going to each other's houses, group settings as well. And also just here, the grind. I think this year we've said it a couple times. It's a lot harder this year than the previous years, and I think that was, with intent to grow us closer. If we're all in misery, we're in misery together. So, kind of that as well. Just knowing that what I'm going through, the guy next to you is going through it too. So that's a special bond there already.
What does it take to kind of buy into that philosophy that, whatever someone else is going through.
Write him up on the board. It's a fine.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not easy to, have that kind of buy-in, I would imagine. Everybody's kind of pulling in the same direction. It doesn't always work out that way.
Yeah, well, you only need, I think that's the whole, I don't even want to say it like this, but that's why leaders are leaders. if you see your leaders buy into whatever culture we're trying to set, naturally you'll follow along. And there's a method to the madness. That's what makes you buy in.
What's the biggest area of growth you've seen out of Jalen as a leader this year?
Biggest area of growth, I'd say his checks at the line. I'd say his communication, making sure we're on the same page when he makes a check. Big step, especially when we lost Kels. Everyone was asking that question, and he stepped up major in that way.
You mentioned the bittersweet aspect of the first time you were in the Super Bowl, and you just mentioned Jason. Leadership, you've taken a step up.
Thank you.
Is it more important to you to get that message across that to the guys maybe that weren't there the first time about what it takes to get over the top?
Yes, it is important to, whatever message I have, to pass on that wisdom. But the message is simple. Don't make it bigger than it is. It's the same message we've been living by the last 20 weeks. I'm not going to change it up now because it's the Super Bowl. I think guys know the stakes, that we're playing for, and I just think keeping the message simple, not complicating everything, not changing your routine, is one way that can help with your performance.
When you talked about the closest, are you talking mostly about the offensive lineman, or was it a more global thing, that the closeness this year?
Yeah, more team thing for sure. Just different groups interacting with different position groups.
Who's your favorite position group to interact with outside of your own?
Probably the D line. Yeah, probably the D line.
Because
Well, one is a good matchup there. When we're out there on the field, on the pitch. But then just the personalities in that room. Moldwell, guys like JD, JC, Morrow, and Milt. Shit, I can name more. Gabe, even Gabe Hall. Oh, I shouldn't say his name like that. Shoot, it's my accent. I'm sorry. Doesn't count. What else? Yeah, just
it's fun.
it's just fun. Just the nature of being competitors, and they understand the grind, and I think that's kind of where you bond. Just understanding.
Couple more?
I know it's just the next game, but it's against the Chiefs, obviously, who you guys played 2 years ago. So what is that? I don't know. How does that affect sort of your thinking, or what was the thought when you first saw that was going to be the opponent?
It's an opportunity to get back, but then again, it is the next game. Can't lose focus of that. Can't let your emotions get the better of you because you want your get back. But that's the message.
Was there any value to beating them last year?
No, not for me.
Nick has talked
Last
a lot
one.
about how physical you guys have been, and I think it starts a lot with the offensive line. When Landon plays through what he was playing through, then Cam comes in, what he's playing through. What does that mean to your group as a whole?
Not a surprise. We know what we have in those two players. But, man, the grit and determination to want to be out there and for your brothers is, something we don't talk about. It's just known that that's what you're gonna sacrifice something, right? Coach said it this morning, and those two sacrificed their body for us to get here, and that's why we love them.
All right.
That's why we love them.